The Treaty of Rome, officially the treaty establishing the European Economic Community, is an international agreement that led to the founding of the European Economic Community on 1 January 1958. It was signed on 25 March 1957 by Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands and West Germany. The word economic was deleted from the treaty's name by the Maastricht Treaty in 1993, and the treaty was repackaged as the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union on the entry into force of the Treaty of Lisbon in 2009. According to Article 1 of the current Treaty of Maastricht, the European Union is the successor of the European Community. The TEC proposed the progressive reduction of customs duties and the establishment of a customs union. It proposed to create a common market of goods, workers, services and capital within the EEC's member states. It also proposed the creation of common transport and agriculture policies and a European Social Fund. It also established the European Commission. History. In 1951, the Treaty of Paris was signed, creating the European Coal and Steel Community. The Treaty of Paris was an international treaty based on international law, designed to help reconstruct the economies of the European continent, prevent war in Europe and ensure a lasting peace. The original idea was conceived by Jean Monnet, a senior French civil servant, and it was announced by Robert Schuman, the French foreign minister, in a declaration on 9 May 1950. The aim was to pool Franco-German coal and steel production, as these two raw materials were the basis of the industry and power of the two countries. The proposed plan was that Franco-German coal and steel production would be placed under a common high authority within the framework of an organization that would be open for participation to other European countries. The underlying political objective of the European Coal and Steel Community was to strengthen Franco-German cooperation and banish the possibility of war. France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands began negotiating the treaty. The treaty establishing the ECSC was signed in Paris on 18 April 1951 and entered into force on 24 July 1952. The treaty expired on 23 July 2002, after 50 years, as was foreseen. The common market opened on 10 February 1953 for coal, iron ore and scrap, and on 1 May 1953 for steel. Partly, in the aim of creating a federal Europe, two further communities were proposed, again by the French: a European Defence Community and a European Political Community. While the treaty for the latter was being drawn up by the Common Assembly, the ECSC Parliamentary Chamber, the EDC was rejected by the French Parliament. President Jean Monnet, a leading figure behind the communities, resigned from the high authority in protest and began work on alternative communities, based on economic integration rather than political integration. As a result of the energy crises, the Common Assembly proposed extending the powers of the ECSC to cover other sources of energy. However, Jean Monnet desired a separate community to cover nuclear power, and Louis Armand was put in charge of a study into the prospects of nuclear energy use in Europe. The report concluded further nuclear development was needed to fill the deficit left by the exhaustion of coal deposits and to reduce dependence on oil producers. However, the Benelux states and Germany were also keen on creating a general common market, although it was opposed by France due to its protectionism, and Jean Monnet thought it too large and difficult a task. In the end, Monnet proposed creating both as separate communities, in an attempt to satisfy all interests. As a result of the Messina Conference of 1955, Paul-Henri Spaak was appointed as chairman of a preparatory committee charged with the preparation of a report on the creation of a common European market. The Spaak report, drawn up by the Spaak Committee, provided the basis for further progress and was accepted at the Venice Conference, where the decision was taken to organize an intergovernmental conference. The report formed the cornerstone of the Intergovernmental Conference on the Common Market and Euratom at Val d'Ucciso in 1956. The outcome of the conference was that new communities would share the Common Assembly with the ECSC, as it would with the Court of Justice. However, they would not share the ECSC's Council of High Authority. The two new high authorities would be called commissions. This was due to a reduction in their powers. France was reluctant to agree to more supranational powers, and so the new commissions would have only basic powers and important decisions would have to be approved by the Council, which now adopted majority voting. The latter body fostered cooperation in the nuclear field, at the time a very popular area, and the EEC was to create a full customs union between members. The conference led to the signature, on 25 March 1957, of the treaty establishing the European Economic Community and the Euratom Treaty at the Palazzo dei Conservatori on Capitoline Hill in Rome. In March 2007, the BBC's Today radio program reported that delays in printing the treaty meant that the document signed by the European leaders as the Treaty of Rome consisted of blank pages between its frontispiece and page for the signatures, renamings and amendments. The Treaty of Rome, the original full name of which was the Treaty Establishing the European Economic Community, has been amended by successive treaties significantly changing its content. The 1992 Treaty of Maastricht established the European Union, with the EEC becoming one of its three pillars, the European Community. Hence, the treaty was renamed the Treaty Establishing the European Community. When the Treaty of Lisbon came into force in 2009, the pillar system was abandoned, and hence the EC ceased to exist as a legal entity separate from the EU. This led to the treaty being amended and renamed as the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. In March 2011, the European Council adopted a decision to amend the treaty by adding a new paragraph to Article 136. The additional paragraph, which enables the establishment of a financial stability mechanism for the Eurozone, runs as follows. The member states whose currency is the euro may establish a stability mechanism to be activated if indispensable to safeguard the stability of the euro area as a whole. The granting of any required financial assistance under the mechanism will be made subject to strict conditionality. 30th anniversary. 50th anniversary. The 50th anniversary was celebrated in various ways, including events on Europe Day and throughout the year. Numerous commemorative coins were issued, including a special commemorative €2, which was issued with near identical designs by every Eurozone member.